This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the president and CEO of Mountain Boy Minerals, Mr. Lawrence Roulston. Lawrence, how are you today?
I'm great, and thank you so much for taking an interest in Mountain Boy. We've got an exciting story and looking forward to sharing it.
Listen, we try to be selective in the companies that we work with. We love exploration stories that have clean share structures, experience management, preferably in great jurisdictions, and preferably with some prior work done that points to a potential, multi-bagger, right, in the space. And Mountain Boy clicks every single one of those boxes. So I want to get into the share structure. I want to get into the project. But before we do that, I think it's important just to provide a bit of your background, because we talked a bit off air. You've been in the space for quite a bit, and I think that experience is going to come in handy with the bull cycle and precious metals that we all see coming.
Yeah, 40 years in the industry. I've got a geological background. I started with one of the majors, and then I was involved in managing juniors for many years. For 15 years, I wrote an investment newsletter. And now I'm back doing what I really love doing, which is exploration. The treasure hunt. It's a fun place to be, and especially with this company and all the projects we've got on the go, and being located in such a great location.
Let's get into the team that you've been able to put together, Lawrence, that has come together, because it's a very experienced one. It's a successful one. It's one that I am very familiar with. And I think, when we talk exploration and how exciting that can be, it really comes down to share structure and team before I look at anything else. And both of those are rock solid with Mountain Boy. Can you walk us through briefly, Mark and Winnie and Ben's experience a bit?
Well, Mark has been around the industry for a very long time. I've known Mark going way back. Great guy, highly respected in the industry, great experience, had some big successes. And Winnie, who works with Mark and is our CFO, gained tremendous experience in the mining industry. Brings a lot of value with the experience that she has. And Ben Whiting, another of our directors, a lot of experience in the mining industry. He's had a couple of big successes. He's involved in another company that's in the same general region that Mountain Boy is operating, so he certainly understands the rocks up there, and has been very helpful in guiding us through the exploration process. So a great team on that side of it. A couple of other directors that bring a huge amount of business experience and government contacts. So great team on the director side. Lucia Tenney, our VP Exploration, geologist with a lot of experience, and in particular, a lot of experience in the Golden Triangle. So she really knows the rocks up there, and has been an extraordinarily valuable part of our team. And Andrew Wilkins, a geologist, and in addition to being an expert geologist, is tremendous at finding his way around on steep rock faces, which is a tremendous skill in the Golden Triangle. So he's been able to get at some of the places that nobody previously has gotten to, and helping us to get a really good story geologically on the various projects that we're involved in. So I'm excited to be part of this team, and then there's the whole team of geologists in the field that are out there right now as we speak, trudging around up and down the mountainside. So yes, a great team.
They're trudging around British Columbia in the Golden Triangle looking for silver, gold, and copper discoveries, right? And you mentioned the multiple projects. Can we talk about the focus in the near term? You have an abundance of data, decades worth, that you've been able to draw from, process, reinterpret, and now really kind of, target and vector into what everyone is hoping, a year of discoveries. Can we talk about the focus in the near term, Lawrence?
Well, our flagship is the American Creek project. It's focused on the historic Mountain Boy mine, which of course is where the company gets its name. It operated in the early 1900s. It was one of the more famous mines in the Stuart Camp in the Golden Triangle. And as you say, an enormous amount of information accumulated over a century of production and exploration. Before I got involved in the company, the focus was just immediately around the old mine. And it was a fairly limited property position. So the first thing I did was put the team to work to compile, assemble, interpret information on the old mine and the area all around it. We then went off and we extended the property to a fairly large property position. And now we're looking at it from a much bigger picture perspective. You know, I like to use the analogy of a jigsaw puzzle. And a lot of work was done in the Golden Triangle over decades. And for a lot of people going in, it's like picking out one piece of a jigsaw puzzle. You look at it, and it doesn't mean a whole lot. But you start getting a few pieces that fit together, and eventually you start to see the big picture. And that's where we are now with the American Creek project and with our other projects, that we pull together the bits and pieces of information that were compiled from work that was done over a period of decades, and we're seeing this big picture. So the focus is American Creek, centered on the Mountain Boy mine, spectacular high-grade silver mine. There was some drilling done in 2006. 6 holes intersected more than a kilo of silver.
That's incredible. Yeah, that's incredible.
Yes. One of those holes, 5 kilos of silver over 5 meters. So there's something there of real significance. And we're now at a point where the drilling is about to get started again. We've learned a lot over the last 3 years. In particular, we learned a lot last summer. And, you know, it's been clear for a long time that there's a major set of veins running north-south. And what we learned from the work last year is that the ore chutes are really a function of a cross-cutting feature. We've identified the cross-cutting feature, and we're interpreting where it runs and how to hit that intersection point where we believe the ore chute is going to extend off from that known high-grade zone. So that will be the focus of the initial part of our drilling this summer.
When do you anticipate, you mentioned the summer, when in the summer do you anticipate the Truth Machine to actually start turning there?
Within a couple of weeks.
Excellent.
It's, it's logistics dependent. There's still snow in the high country. So they're monitoring it daily. And in fact, the crew has actually gone off to one of our other projects where they've got access to some lower areas, and they'll be they're up there right now. And once they get back and we assess the situation, we want to get drilling as soon as we possibly can, because if we see the results that we're anticipating, we'd like to expand the program, extend it, and even get more drill rigs on site. A big difference from last year is that this year we have an XRF device on site, and we'll be monitoring that drill core as it comes out of the ground. It'll give us a good first approximation of the metal content as that drill core is coming out of the ground.
The rocks, the projects, and the team have attracted the attention of Mr. Eric Sprott. You just recently closed a $3.25 million financing. How does the Treasury look? And then I'd love to get into share structure a little bit. I love to see insider ownership right around the 20% mark. Shows skin in the game. If the bottom line is it's exploration. We know it's high risk. It's also very high reward. But you got to have skin in the game. And if you don't believe in your own projects, right, it's a big leap of faith asking other people to. So I love to see that, Lawrence.
Yeah, our treasury at the moment is good for this season. If we didn't raise any further money, we can do the work on 5 of our projects that we have laid out in front of us. If we get results and we want to ramp up the program, then hopefully those results will be reflected in the share price and we can finance accordingly. As you say, 20%. In fact, it's well over 20%, but between the whole management team right now. And about 54 million outstanding, 64 million fully diluted. So we're in good shape to kick off this year's program.
Well, we've both seen several cycles. We know what a discovery of significance can do to a company's market cap, which, your market cap currently stands at right around the $11 million mark. We know how quickly that can go from double digits to triple digits. I'm excited for the drills to turn. I'm looking forward to the initial assays. Anything else that you want to touch on, Lawrence?
Well, we have 5 other projects that are in our portfolio. We'll be working on at least 4 of those this year. Some really, really, really important projects. We don't want to distract attention from the American Creek project, our flagship, but bear in mind that there's really 6 shots at a major discovery in this company with what we have on the go at the moment. All those projects have benefited from decades of previous work. It's the same story on all the projects where we've looked across the Golden Triangle. We've identified areas that have been overlooked where we can see a lot of really interesting results in work that was done previously. We've pulled together that historic information. We've compiled it, evaluated it, and we see some very, very high potential exploration projects. But all of that's in the background to the American Creek project, which is where we're going to be focused for the bulk of this season.
Well, for anyone that wants to get to know the rest of the projects and a little bit more about American Creek, you can go to mountainboyminerals.ca. Lawrence, I am looking forward to having you back on and excited to see the initial set of results. Thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
Appreciate your interest in the company.
All right. Chat soon. Thank you.